We are back with some more Age of Mythology. The Titans here with ChronoJJ. Spawning at the top of the map in the red color, playing as Zeus is a CheekyRepeater. His opponent today in the blue color, also playing Zeus, is Gaboo. It's currently 2-2 in this best of 5 series for the Bill Gregg Open. Winner of this game goes on to fight Brickhead in the round of 32. The map is Mediterranean. How you going, Chrono?
I'm doing good. This has been a fun series to watch so far. A lot of god switches and swaps, and so far it's been pretty fun. Back and forth series, and now we have a Zeus v Zeus mirror on Medit.
Yes, this one is going to be a little bit different from the Anatolia game. The water is all concentrated in one area, so it's worth quite a bit more than on Anatolia, where you have 2 separate areas you have to win. So I think it's going to come a lot more down to the micro on these triremes in the middle of the map. You can't necessarily go for them crazy booms with like a 5:30 or 5:45 advance time without being at least punished a little bit from 4:30 advances. So we'll see what these guys choose to do.
Boo is kind of stuffed up at the start. He had an idle town center for like 15 seconds.
Oh yeah, I hate to see it. He does have, he did have a veto, but only after 1 minute. Only before 1 minute. So if you do make those mistakes in the early game, you can veto. But not seeing that one here, unfortunately.
He needed another vill on food.
Yeah, you need to have 4 villages on pigs without husbandry in order to maintain villager population. You do have the fishing ships, but you have to force drop them in the early game to keep the villager population going. And we're seeing some idle town center from Gaboo and CheekyRepeater's going to come ahead on the villager count with slightly more villages. I think that's about even. 18 population to 19 population. Gaboo somehow ahead.
Basically, it's more fishing boats.
Yeah, but
because again, just like on Anatolia, Gaboo is going with the pigs, and Cheeky is going with the granary for the hunt.
Yeah, so you come out roughly even with this. You start out with more fishing ships, but you get more food income from the hunt, and you have to basically play catch up here on the fishing ships.
With Gaboo being idle for so long, it's definitely better for Cheeky here. I still think it's better to stay on your pigs as opposed to building that granary, but getting that idle town center time is going to just throw everything out of whack there.
Yeah, it is still a risk though. If you don't find extra pigs, you're gonna get idle town center time, and then if your opponent bolts your Catascopus, then you definitely don't get any more pigs. So in this one, I can understand not taking the risk.
And the other thing, well, I mean, I guess if you lose water, you're kind of going to lose anyway. But if you lose water and you've already eaten all your pigs, what in the world are you gonna fall back on?
Well, I guess in this map, it's more if you lose water fast, what are you gonna do? Yeah.
Especially in a Zeus v Zeus, you really can't lose. I mean, most gods take losing water pretty poorly, but like, I mean, Ra can be okay without it just because Ra has rain. But Zeus isn't one of those where if you lose water, you'll still be okay because you kind of need it, unless you've already got like your 3 town centers and stuff.
Yeah, we've got Athena incoming for CheekyRepeater, just hitting 50% at 415, so we're going to see a 445 from CheekyRepeater. Gaboo, on the other hand, looking more like a 5-minute advance, 5:15 even, so a little bit late here, and he's going to be under the pump really, really fast. It looks like the second dock already up for CheekyRepeater, and I think he's got hand axe and pickaxe incoming. Just hand axe. Hand axe and pickaxe.
Unlike Anatolia, you really can't afford to be aging up later like this.
Yeah.
It's harder to defend the water, especially with the Greek boats that have the additional range
Exactly,
than a normal
yeah.
boat.
Unless you're Egyptian, in which case you can spam 5 docks and then you basically have 5
Yeah.
free trireme under your fishing ship. But that's a different story here.
Just incorporating that awesome feature of shooting docks.
And here we go, Gaboo in the classification with Athena, and the triremes of CheekyRepeater are going to be incoming instantly. It's going to force Gaboo into the dock. You can kind of sit outside those fish on defensive stance and then harass the next one. If your opponent is going for a very late advance time, that is, you can kind of get away with doing that.
Oh, 5:15 is too slow.
Yeah, and we've also only got 2 docks for Gaboo, so unfortunately he's just going to be, if the economy is perfect, he's just going to be behind on trireme by, it should be behind by 3 or 4 boats for the entirety of the game. It looks like CheekyRepeater's macro is a little bit off, and Gaboo's actually already caught up.
Yeah, it must. He must have messed something up, because yeah, it's now 6v6 triremes right now.
Yeah, it just looks like he didn't have enough villagers on gold here, sitting at 200 wood for CheekyRepeater and only 50 gold, so he should have potentially put 8 villagers on, or 9 villagers on gold earlier, instead of...
Kind of a crappy storehouse placement too for Cheeky.
Yeah.
For his gold. You got a chicken in the way, and it's not right next to the gold mine.
Yeah, it's actually worth it to kill off those chicken first, and then hunt delete yourself.
When Cheeky trapped a villager in his tower and had to delete a house, that's the kind of things I do. So Gaboo, here we're gonna get into our first big fight, it looks like.
This is some funny micro. One of the things you don't want to be doing too much of is microing back a handful of trireme in order to draw fire, because if you don't refocus fire them fast, then you're missing out on a lot of DPS. Whereas if your opponent refocus fires that fast, then it's a bad time.
Gaboo lost 3 boats there and didn't kill any of Cheeky's. It's not good.
Yeah, Cheeky had 16 boats to the 12. Oh, there's some idols, but still kind of even. For some reason, Gaboo's macro is kind of on point here, whereas CheekyRepeater is not really coming out as far ahead. You can see the population is 80 to 80 basically, and Gaboo's putting out houses in the right time as opposed to Cheeky, he's got his 115 pop already in houses. So just little bits of wood, little bits of inefficiency here.
Gaboo fighting, he should not be pressing this fight when he just had a transition to another wood line. He shouldn't fight right after he transitioned.
Yeah, we see the restoration going first here for Gaboo. Generally speaking, you want to cast restoration second, so you get the most regen on your ships. You can see like all of CheekyRepeater's boats are at full HP now, whereas there's a lot of low HP boats for Gaboo, and it's 18 boats to 15 boats now for Cheeky. So he's pushing the attack now. He's going to be able to force Gaboo back.
Yeah, and Gaboo had some idle docks because of that transition on his wood, where he didn't have wood to keep on making his boats.
Yeah, and we've also got CheekyRepeater throwing up his 3rd dock. For some reason, he's not actually close to the heroic age. And Gaboo's going to go to the heroic age first. Looks like he doesn't have his armory up, which is a little bit of a tiny mistake there. And he is housed as well at 85 pop. Ooh, that's not what you want to see.
He's grabbing a town center. He's getting a town center instead, and there's a Minotaur right there.
It's not what you want to see. You hate to see it. That would have been a really nice pushback on the water if you could get to the heroic age, grab the heavy trireme or the upgrade for the trireme, and get a free Skylar instantly, and then you actually kind of win this fight here. Even being down 4 boats, that heavy or I don't even know what it's called, naval upgrade, archer ship upgrade is super strong and heavily underutilized in this game. But if you got to the heroic age around about now, which you would be hitting it, or maybe 20 more seconds, He'll be able to defend this for a very long time.
That town center grab is gonna. I don't know why Cheeky's being so defensive. He should just attack.
Yeah, I mean he's like, I mean this is kind of the strat for Anatolia where you sit low on archer ships and stay under your docks, but the docks aren't close to each other, so it's currently like 25 boats to what's Gaboo at? To 15, and then you add the dock, which is basically another 2 ships because it shoots 2 arrows. No, 1 ship.
Why is he being so passive?
I don't know, man. You know, fight's happening now though. He's pulled out a couple of Gaboo's ships here and he's gonna move in.
No.
Third town center for Gaboo though, so maybe it's fine. He can give up this water if he has enough food.
He can't. He can't lose it at this point.
I don't know. He's got 700 food in the bank, so if he can he's gonna be behind for sure because the food income is much better, but. He's not out of the game by any stretch, and he's going to be able to hit max vills from the amount of food he's got in the bank. So he should be okay, and it's going to be up to CheekyRepeater to punish at this point.
Yeah, and Cheeky, I mean, he's being slow to fight on the water. Now he's finally coming down. Oh, well, that'll probably be the end of Gaboo's navy here.
Again, he's running away. He could just stay here and fight. It's just so it's so confusing to watch.
I'm no big city mathematician, but according to my count, it's pretty obvious that Cheeky's ahead.
Yeah. But I mean, it seems to be working. He's pulling these ships out, and he's taking less losses than he otherwise would have, sitting under the dock fire, but. Given how many ships he's got, it doesn't really matter how many losses he takes.
I guess he just knows that Gaboo will just not pay attention. He'll just lose his boats for no reason.
He's playing the player, not the game. Third town center's come up for now for CheekyRepeater, so any advantage from the villagers being pumped out from Gaboo is now gone. Yes.
And what we talked about earlier is now we don't have any fattened pigs for Gaboo.
Yeah, and
he's up.
He's up heroic age, yeah. And he's gonna have to transition into farms now. That's just gonna be difficult because he has no wood in the bank. So we've got 13 villages on wood as well.
I don't know what. Yeah, he's gonna get slowed down quite a bit right now when he's gonna be transitioning.
Oh, I like
to
this
his
building.
farms.
I like this building placement from CheekyRepeater. He's kind of made a pseudo wall here that Gaboo's not going to really be able to get through. I mean, it's kind of a gap here, but it's kind of cool.
Yeah.
We do our first scene for CheekyRepeater. I hope he doesn't overfish this. He's got 21 fishing ships and he's got 20 villagers on food. So he might be over economizing. He's still pumping villagers out. He's going through Dionysus.
Cheeky did kind of overproduce on Navy to the point where he's gotta delete a handful of them.
I think it's okay there. It's not ideal to overproduce, but given the economic advantage he gets from winning the water, it's the amount of resources lost is not that significant.
The game is still close.
Yeah, it's not ridiculously close. Like I said, grabbing those early 3 town centers with all of that, instead of going to the heroic age and he's spending the 800 food on however many villages that is, kind of allowed to stay in here.
Random Toxodi shooting at the granary up at the top.
Yeah, villagers fighting back.
Stop messing with the granary. Oh, they see that there's 2 more Toxodis hiding. Gaboo should probably wall this top half off.
Yeah, we'll see if CheekyRepeater learns from his mistake on the Anatolia map and goes Hera here. Because again, he's like got no military units. He's got a fair few military buildings. They're all getting picked off though, but he can just use Hera to pick off this army, and then he should be fine. He doesn't need the extra resources from the Plenty Vault. He's got so many fishing ships.
Now the two Toxotes are shooting at the granary up at the top. This is really entertaining me. I'm really not sure why, but it's funny.
The Toxotes are finally picking off the villagers as they're running away. And
There they go.
CheekyRepeater is actually going to be moving forward with some military buildings up here, which I do like, because that's where the trade route is.
Age 4 Hephaestus for Cheeky.
Yeah, and Gaboo has only got 16 villages on food right now, so he's not going to be able to get Mythic Age for quite a while, but he's making a little push in here. There's Toxotes here. It is a good push. It's going to be really, really good, and he can move it onto this gold mine as well. CheekyRepeater is kind of retreating back into this location, which maybe he shouldn't be. Because maybe Gaboo doesn't know about it? Yeah, he doesn't know about it, but Gaboo's ignoring it in favor of going for the temple. Seeing a second armory coming up, so Cheeky can get his cheap technologies out fast.
Oh wow, Cheeky does not know his Phillies are getting whacked there. Oh, come on, you gotta kill a hero. You gotta kill a hero.
Well, that Manticore is going to go down. We see watchtowers coming through. CheekyRepeater still doesn't have fortified town centers, so he's short about 15 population here, whereas Gaboo's got his got his fortified town centers, and he's got his resources to go to the next age, but he's chosen to delay military in order to do that. So that's going to allow CheekyRepeater to sort of organize his economy a little bit better and get his techs for his Mythic Age going, and unfortunately...
Move the score briefly and I'll lose it. This is close. So one thing that's gonna be big though is that this is the meta spawn that has a town center in water range. So with Cheeky having water, might upgrade his boat. Yeah, he's getting an upgrade right now.
Oh, very, very smart. That's it. This is going to be really big, and he noticed it as well because he's gone Dionysus, where normally if the town centers are not in water range, you normally want to go Apollo so you can utilize Underworld, but if they are, then you get Dionysus, and with the help of Skylar, there's not much you can do to stop the siege ships. We're seeing some docks now coming up for Gaboo, and the Toxotes moving in, but they're going to be greeted by Gaboo's Toxotes. They're all going to get picked up as they're trying to run away from this.
Why did they go in that far?
Too hard to multitask. We've also got CheekyRepeater onto the market of Gaboo, but I think it's not going to do all too much damage up here. Now we've got the Oxy Juggernauts coming out. Move in. Yep. Gaboo just hitting Mythic Age now. Gonna throw down his palace instantly, I assume. Those upgrades coming in. The Pentacontis coming out.
He's gonna need more than 2 docks here though.
Yeah, oh, he's chucking up the sentry towers. This does slow down, if he gets the watchtowers up, it does slow down the siege ships. And the siege ships can't really stop these from going up. There's kind of a weird way that their damage calculation works on buildings that are getting built. They do significantly less damage than you think compared to a building that's already built. So this sentry tower should get up, which is now a watchtower. Now I've got the Colossus on here. I'm sure that'll be greeted by some heroes fairly shortly.
Still a close game. Cheeky's though, he's kind of got the map control right now.
Yeah, I'd love to see him move forward with some walls and just like, I mean, he's kind of doing it, but really secure the map position he's got. There's not really any other reason. There's not really any reason not to do it. Looks like he's moving forward for a fortress here. He's going to be able to set himself up. He's got so much navy here as well. All the Oxy Juggernauts onto these docks. Got the Trireme sitting in the back to pick off the Pentacontis. Unfortunately, the Pentacontis is trying to take down the Trireme. If you don't understand the counter sheet for the water. It's archer ships are better than hammer ships, are better than siege ships, are better than archer ships. So.
And that burning pitch upgrade too is just absolutely demolishing the hammer ships.
Yeah, it gives what does it give? An extra 200% siege damage versus buildings, and yeah, I think it gives an extra. Yeah, gets an extra 1 pierce damage or something for the heavy triremes as well.
Oh, that town center is gonna go down.
Yeah, these siege ships do so much damage. That is one dead fortified town center.
Shoot.
Yeah.
Now you get to the point where you're behind in population and it's hard to make boats to fight back.
Yeah, if you can get the watchtowers up, then that's enough to then get your docks back up, and then you can sort of get it back up. But there's also this fortress you have to deal with. There's going to be military units moving in. There's Heliopolis as well. There's bronze still has to be used, so you can use that as well. But it looks like CheekyRepeater's actually lost all of his navy over here somehow. And that town center is going back up. You hate to see it. So much effort going in to get it down, and it just comes back up like it was nothing.
That was the trade town center though, so Gaboo's hurting a bit in gold right now.
Oh, that's true. He does have that 1 gold mine there, but only 8 villages on it, so definitely hurting. Seeing a little bit of an infantry raid up here from Gaboo. Maybe he can try and take down this town center, but no upgrades for these Hoplite or Myrmidon. They don't do that much damage. Bolt does come down onto a Colossus there, looks like. Oh, actually, no, I missed, yeah, onto the Colossus. Now the Heliopoli. Trying to take down this fortified town center yet again. It's got the heavy trireme back out, joining with the Oxy Juggernauts. Trying to take this town center down. Oh, even Bellerophon helping out up here onto this gold mine, stopping this gold, and the wall coming in as well.
Cheeky is tightening that noose.
Yeah, but like I said, like it's really hard for these the siege ships to stop buildings from coming up. They're not like a Petropoli or a catapult in that if you attack a building foundation, the Petropoli or basically the normal land siege units do a massive amount of damage, but the siege ships, they really don't. They do like reduced damage or something.
Yeah, it's because they have low crush and a high attack bonus versus buildings, and a partially built building doesn't count as a building.
Yeah. It has its own like unique armor properties or something.
Yeah. Well, that town center's gone down again, and Gaboo is just falling further and further behind.
Yeah, and he's also managed to pick off all these watchtowers. He's still got a couple of, he still has a heavy trireme out as well versus these standard normal Pentaconters. CheekyRepeater is looking like he's running away with this. He's also moving forward with watchtowers. He's picked off that trade route as well, so that's all the gold gone for Gaboo. Gaboo only sitting at like 100 gold in the bank. CheekyRepeater is just researching Secrets of the Titans as well, just to rub salt in that wound.
Cheeky's economy is just so good right now.
Yeah. Just he's making the right decision, making these triremes as well. I don't like that he's auto queuing them. You just want to like queue up like the perfect amount because you don't want to overbuild a navy. But it's fine. He's able to take down this location. He's got the Titan Gate just researcher then, so he should be able to throw that down right next to his town center. Get that going incredibly fast. There is an underworld though, so he can stop this if he gets a Pegasus over there or something.
What's he gonna send over his 10-man army?
Well, if he did it instantly, if he was prepared, he can kill it off instantly.
Yeah.
But he wasn't.
I guess.
It's like the town center's trying to get back up. We just need to see a Petropolis come through. Get some walls up here, and then this is just not going to go up. Here we go. Now that the dock's down, and then just right click on that town center with these navy units, and it's just not gonna. It's not gonna work. It's just not gonna go up. You can see how much damage it does to a town center compared to anything else, because the damage properties are different on the town center.
Yes, well, it was close for a while, but then late game, Gaboo just was not really able to stabilize after he lost that town center the first time.
Yeah, I mean, he foresaw it coming. He just didn't commit hard enough to getting his navy going, and once the heavy trireme came in, it's just too hard.
Well, the problem was that he was queuing them out one at a time, and they kept dying. If he would have just kept and built up like 7, 8 hammer ship in his dock, he could have killed all the trireme.
Yeah, exactly. And now the guard tower stranglehold is coming in. It's like almost like CheekyRepeater has like no population. He's got hardly any military units, but it just doesn't matter because these guard towers do so much damage. There's the underworld. Oh, what's happening to my game? Oh, I clicked viewer. The underworld comes down. Heliopolis is in here, but that's just gonna get picked off instantly. It's gonna slow the Titan down a little bit, but it's not gonna stop it by any stretch.
So I'm kind of confused. Keep shooting at this guard tower too.
No.
But on the other hand, Gaboo's now completely losing his forward town center, like everything.
Yeah, CheekyRepeater taking this advantage of the army not being here, takes down a fortress, starts building the town center, has a bunch of Myrmidon out as well as the siege ship to take down the fortress. It's just a lot to deal with, and looks like the walls coming out, and the underworld gets stopped there as well.
You got your Petrobolus behind the walls on the top left.
Oh yeah, that's even more disgusting. Completely abusing the map layout here. Really well played by CheekyRepeater.
Close for a while, but I think it's too risky to give up on C like that on a map where town center is in water range. I mean, it still could have worked, but
yeah, you basically want to wait until your opponent deletes his, force your opponent to delete his trireme by putting the land pressure on. And then delete it, you build your docks back up, you get your upgrades before the fighting starts happening. And then once they start deciding to go for the town center, you can respond there. But Gaboo taps out. GG, well played by CheekyRepeater, taking this series 3-2. Showing us he deserves to be here.
They both did. They both played a nice series. That was a fun one to watch.
Yes, indeed.
Take a look at the post game. Monopoly. Yeah. Resource total, Gaboo was right there up until about that mythic age.
Yeah, you can
that town center and the trade.
You see the difference between winning the water and not winning the water, and it's not. If you lose it late enough, it's not that significant because of all the resources you have to spend on the trireme. So it's something like 1,500 resources, and CheekyRepeater definitely had at least 15 trireme there at the end. So it comes out about even if you give it up, but not re-controlling it when you need to is the big error there from Gaboo.
Yeah, because usually you're right, like halfway through the heroic age, your opponent, if he's won the water, will be deleting his boats, and then you can kind of redock and take it back over.
Yeah, and you can kind of like suss that out by working out how many. I mean, you can either send a Pegasus over the water, you can just pick a time where you're going to rebuild the docks. Doesn't really matter. Yeah. While you're attacking him with your superior army, because he's got more triremes, you're going to know he's going to delete them then, so you can build the docks as you attack. all the good things. But yeah, CheekyRepeater takes this one, gets to go and play Brickhead. Very, very exciting.
Yeah, lucky him. Moves on to play Brickhead in the round of 32.
Well, I mean, let's be real.
He'll have to play.
Of all the top players, right, playing against a Norse main as a Zeus main is what you want to see. It's one of the harder matchups for Norse to win, and Zeus definitely levels the playing field at least a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, Cheeky was pretty a little bit rough around the edges, and you want to beat Brickhead, you'll have to be at the top of your game. So it'll be a stretch, but we'll see.